Our first Ingmar Bergman movie for FOTD is 1958's Brink of Life. The reason we are discussing Brink of Life is because it is so indicative and formulaic of what Bergman's initial esteem was tied to. That being said, Brink of Life is not really considered a classic of his filmography, probably because of this. It is seen as typical Bergman, somewhat uninspired and proof of our critical instincts. There has to be a Bergman film I don't like. Here it is. And to some degree, fair enough, especially if one does not like Bergman or this era of Bergman. However, when we start thinking about this film without it being a Bergman film, or if we start thinking about this film with the thought experiment that it was Bergman's sole only film, we can begin to appreciate Brink of Life as an admirable experiment in the staging of existential film drama, the capturing the filmic accentuation of challenging moods and the infinite power of creative framing. The film's narrative, adapted by Bergman from novels penned by Ulla Isaacson, pertains three women residing in a maternity ward. In intimate dialogue with each other, they reveal the stories, the memories of their lives, sharing deep thoughts amongst themselves. They face the harrowing choice of keeping their children, their newborn babies, or instead offering them up for adoption. Also, note a unique collaboration between Ingmar Bergman and cinematographer Max Weiland, another filmic Swede. Less viscerally gothic than Gunnar Fischer, less distressingly sharp than Sven Nykvist, instead what is evoked is a kind of black and white documentary sterility meets heavily lit black and white film theatrical drama. To have gone all in on one aesthetic or the other would have been ineffectual, I feel. To be too documentary-like would have rendered its extensive dialogue and dramatic readings to feel out of place, whereas Gunnar Fischer's ethereal textures, say, might have felt tasteless given the ferociously real subject matter of maternal anguish, the vast experiential trials of giving birth. Seriously, this film's attempt to capture such intense, emotionally relentless limits of experience, the pain/pleasure, love/fear, reward, principle, meaning of life, what is the point, terror, is conjured to the point wherein I find the film effectively uncomfortable and disquieting. One thing to note about its supposed realism is the subtle, almost unnoticeable lack of non-diegetic sound. This strikes me as evident that Bergman was aware of the brevity which realizing such a project would entail and sought to depict it as plainly and truthfully as possible, or at least within the confines of his screenplay. I cannot speak as to whether the screenplay has true merit. Is this an effective exploration of such ferocious woes, or is it over-sensational and shallow? I cannot truly know this, to be quite honest. I would implore anyone to watch this film. You won't know what you truly think of it until you see it.